If you have a Shopify store and no one's finding it on Google, this Shopify SEO tutorial is for you. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact 5-step system that I used to go from having an invisible Shopify store to ranking on page 2 on Google within just a few weeks. And almost all of it was done by AI. I only reviewed the work. So Nordic Dudes is a Viking-themed swim shorts brand, and right now we only have a landing page you can see right now. And then we have a blog post with 3 posts, and the first post is this one here, which we posted on the 12th of July. So that was about 2-3 weeks ago from the recording of this page. Here you can see our SEMrush data with NordicDudes.com from the July 31st. We're ranking for 20 keywords, and we started ranking on the 17th of July, so that's only 5 days after we published our first post. And we're currently ranking 12th for why do swim shorts have nets. And that's currently the situation of our blog post and our first posted blog post, why do swim shorts have netting, or swim trunks have netting. So that's a little bit of a context and proof for you so you understand a little bit better how the system works and what current situation we are in with Nordic Dudes. So we're here in Claude Cowork, and for this I'm using a skill that was created by Brendan Gillen. And I'm not sponsored by that guy, and I don't know who he is. I just watched this video and I really liked what he made, and I implemented that into Nordic Dudes, my own business. So I've linked his YouTube channel down below in the description, and I've also linked the video where I got this skill from that I'm going to use to create this blog post. Some of you might be thinking, oh, you're just running his system. What's the value? And that's a fair question. I am using his skill and his system to create this blog post, but I'm not here to take credit for the tool and the system. I'm rather here to show you that what the skill that I got from him and the system that I'm implementing that I learned from him actually creates something that's valuable for Nordic Dudes and my business and has been really useful so far. And I also want to show you that ranking the blog posts on a real store actually works with his skill and his system. To do this, I have a paid plan with Claude, SEMrush, Higgsfield, and Shopify. So I just want you to be aware of that in order to do this, you need some paid plans. What I also did was I connected Shopify, SEMrush, Higgsfield AI, and Google Drive to Claude, so they are connected, so Claude can actually work with them and create the work that we need to create in order to make this blog post. One important thing to note, though, is that SEMrush is really expensive. It's like over $100 a month, but they do have a 7-day free trial. So if you want to sign up for that, you can do that, and you can probably get a bunch of work and a bunch of blog posts done in those 7 days, especially if you do a little bit of work every day. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to put that skill into Claude here, which is e-commerce blog writer, and then we're going to write this prompt here, which is going to be, can you help me write a blog post for Nordic Dudes that is SEO optimized and targets a keyword with search volume. You can use web search and SEMrush for research. When you're doing this, give me 3 blog post ideas, and I will then tell you which one to create. And that's the prompt that we're going to use. And then what we're going to do here is we will search or enter this, and then we'll just wait for Claude to come back with the output. First one is, do you wear underwear with your line swim shorts, gym, running, and swim? Question FAQ, and that's the highest one. And the main keyword for that is, do you wear underwear with line shorts? It has a volume of 480 searches per month and a keyword difficulty of about 11%. Second one is chafing powder versus balm versus cream. Which one actually works? Comparison, that's a medium high one. And then the third one is fast drying swim shorts. What actually makes them dry fast? The ultimate guide. And that's medium as well. All right, so what I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to follow Claude's recommendation and do the first one. Do you wear underwear with your line shorts? And then we'll ask Claude to create that blog post. And then, of course, what we'll also do is we'll ask Claude to put that blog post into Shopify. So while we're waiting for Claude to finish writing the blog post, I just want to share with you a little bit that sometimes you need to go in and review, or many times actually, you need to go in and review and change things in the blog post. So for example, the first blog post that we posted was, why do swim shorts have mesh lining? But upon further research and learning what we were ranking for, we found out that there was a better keyword. So if we go here into SEMrush, we can see here that for the keyword, why do swim shorts have mesh line, there's really nothing that matches it. There's no data at all. But with, for example, why do swim trunks have netting? You can see that the volume is 210 searches per month, and then a KD of, or keyword difficulty of 7%. So that shows you that it was better for us to re-optimize the blog post for that keyword, the new one. So the second step in the system is to review the actual blog post. So Claude has now finished writing the blog post, and we are now here in Shopify, and you can see that Claude has now created the blog post here. Do you wear underwear with lined swim shorts? And it was created about 1 minute ago or 2 minutes ago. And in here, you can see now that we have the blog post, and it's all written. It's just not published yet. So what I do now while I'm sitting here and looking at the blog post is I'm just reviewing the blog post and making sure that the question is answered in the first sentence, and just reading through it and just checking so everything is good. So for example, here I'm looking at the alt text of the image to make sure that Claude actually added an alt text to each image, and just checking that the alt text is actually something that I wanted to say. And here I'm checking a little bit more just to see that everything is correct and everything looks good. Also making sure that the CTAs look good and that they have the information that I want. And you'll notice when you review the blog post like this that there will be things that you need to change, and there will be things that you have to improve and things like that. So for example, with one of our blog posts, the images that it created were not great, and we had to change that. And maybe you have a product already, so instead of creating AI images like we are doing, maybe you can use your own real images that you have. So basically, we're just reviewing everything like I've mentioned. Obviously, I'm recording this video now, but if I wasn't recording this video, I would read the entire blog post and make the necessary changes where I want to, and actually carefully read through everything to make sure that I like it. So the next thing is to look at the search engine listing here in Shopify, and just to make sure that Claude added everything. So it added a page title and a meta description, because this is what will be shown in Google when someone sees your website, or when it's being ranked in search. So I just make sure that the meta description looks good, the page title looks good, and then that the URL handle looks good as well. They all have the target keyword. One caveat I want to do with this as well is, and I want to say, is that when it comes to the URL, so I wouldn't, once you've published a blog post, I wouldn't change the URL. And the reason being that then Google has to re-rank the page, and you kind of maybe not start over from zero again, but you have to re-rank for that new URL. So once the blog post is published, I wouldn't change the URL. But again, like I said, just make sure that you have the keyword in the page title and the meta description, and ideally the URL as well. But if you change the target keyword like I did, then just change the keyword in the page title and the meta description. Step 4 is internal links. So internal links are really, really important for SEO, and they're especially important for you if you want to make money with the blog posts. So we have, in our main internal links are CTAs to our newsletter, and so people can subscribe. But you maybe have products that you can sell. So in that case, I would put those there instead. So if you look here on the page, you can see that we have here a little CTA with a button and a little bit of text, and that then links to our newsletter, the weekly pillage, and then we want people to subscribe there so we can grow our email marketing. But I just want to highlight again that if you have products that are ready to sell, then you put your products there so you can hopefully sell a little bit and make a little bit of money. Obviously, when it comes to internal links as well, we have other internal links. So we link in between blog posts as well, and maybe our first blog post didn't link to anything, but then the second blog post linked back to the first blog post. So we tried to interlink it like that to create a stronger connection, to make it easier for Google to crawl the pages, but also for people who are on the pages to keep reading and learn more about what it is that we have to say. So to give you a little bit of an overview on this, the whole purpose of the blog post is to SEO optimize it so it generates traffic for free, and then people get on your website or on your page, the blog post, and read it and hopefully get value from it. And then a small number of those people will hopefully either, in our case, sign up for our newsletter, or in your case, if you have products, perhaps maybe even buy some of those products and make a couple of sales. And step 5 of the system is Google Search Console. So if you remember in the beginning, I said that step 5 is something that a lot of people never do or completely forget. And this is that step, and that's Google Search Console. So what I would do is I would go in and add a domain or a property. So I would verify your domain. So I would put in the domain that I have. So in our case, it would be nordicdudes.com. And then I would press continue. And then I would verify this domain. Once the domain is verified, that's all good. And then you have shown Google Search Console that that domain is yours. And then the second thing I would do is I would go into sitemaps and then go to your domain /sitemap.xml and then add that in Search Console, Google Search Console. And then the final thing I would do is I would go up here to inspect any URL. I will put the URL of your latest blog post on here. And then in my case, the URL is already on Google. But if you just posted yours, then it's probably not on Google already. So then I would press request indexing. And then it takes a couple of minutes here. And I just jumped forward here a little bit, and then it says indexing requested. And then you're put in kind of like a priority where Google will eventually index your page, and that will help you rank, because then it's seen your page and then it can rank it appropriately in search results. And the reason why I'm doing this is, and maybe why you should be doing it as well, is because eventually Google will find your page and it will rank it. But when you request indexing like this, you're telling Google immediately that, hey, I just posted something new on my website. Can you go and check it out and then rank it? And that's one of the big reasons why I think that my page or my blog posts were ranking so fast, is because I asked Google to index them immediately. Obviously, they were all SEO optimized as well, and there were a bunch of other things that also helped, but it probably would have taken a lot longer for them to rank page second page or 12th in total if we didn't request the indexing pretty much immediately after we published the blog post. So to recap, what we did here basically was we found a keyword that we can rank for, and then we answered that keyword, or if it was a question, we answered that question pretty much immediately in the first 1 or 2 sentences in the blog post. And then we filled out all the SEO fields, and then we also made sure that we have a link in the blog post that it goes to your money page, whatever that is, if it's a product for you or if it's the sign up or landing page for our newsletter, the weekly pillage. And then what we did finally was just to tell Google that the page exists so it can rank it. And that's basically the whole system. And we've done this now for probably 23 posts, I think. So we have 23 ready posts that are just waiting in Shopify to be posted. And if you want to follow along on the journey of building Nordic Dudes, you can sign up to our newsletter, the weekly pillage, down below, where we keep everyone updated on the latest things happening with Nordic Dudes and how things are going, and when we're launching our swim shorts and all the extra stuff. I really hope that you thought this Shopify SEO tutorial was helpful, and I hope that it helps you rank better in a Google search. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye.